Hello, I'm BOODFM and welcome to part 2 of my Manchester United manager experiment. If you're brand new to my channel, thank you for checking it out. Hopefully by the end of the video you'll be a subscriber. If you're already a subscriber, like I always say, thanks for checking out and taking the time to watch another one of my videos. You know I love you. I love you long time. While you're all here together, why don't you smash your shit out the like button? I do appreciate it. Okay, right. Episode 1 came out the day United sacked Jose. I'd planned it all, I had everything ready to go and film, and it was weird because they sacked him that day. So it was pretty spooky really. So what I did in episode 1 was I took the three managers you can see on this page right now, Zidane, Giggs and Pochettino. I took them and I give them one season, this current season at Manchester United, with the same squad as Jose had, and I wanted to see if they could do well. Now if you've seen the video, brilliant, you'll know what happened. If you haven't seen the video, go and watch it. Come back. Right, hello. Yep. Right. Well, the person I thought wouldn't do as well was Ryan Giggs because he had the weakest attributes. But it kind of showed you something. This is why I think Football Manager is good for experiments, because just because one person's got bigger numbers than another doesn't mean they're going to be better. There's a lot of variables, a lot of things can affect what happens. So Ryan Giggs came out on top. He finished second in the Premier League and he won the FA Cup and the League Cup. Second was Zidane, who finished 6th in the Premier League, but he redeemed himself because he did what he does best. He won the Champions League. And third was Pochettino. He came 4th in the Premier League and won an FA Cup. So they're all successful. Nobody won the league, but just one season you don't really get a good idea of who the best is. So what I've done now is jump 5 years into the future. We'll have a real good idea if any of these three guys could be a potential United manager. In the meantime, we've got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's doing a great job. Today we play Newcastle, the day of filming this, and we could actually win 4 games on the run. It could be the first manager to win his first 4 games, get his first 12 points. The only other manager to ever do that was Sir Matt Busby. So that's pretty special. It's slim chance he might get the job. You never know. But for this experiment, we're going to be looking at some of the bookies' favourites, which is Zidane. Pochettino's a massive favourite, and of course the guy they always talk about, the United legend himself, Ryan Giggs. So, you smashed the like button, haven't you? Yeah? After this, if you're bored, why don't you go and check out my Denton Villa series? I love making it. I've also got a weekly Journeyman series as well, which is so much fun to play. Hopefully you'll enjoy that too. Right, let's get into it. So, like I said, we've jumped 5 years into the future. It's currently the 1st of July 2023 and 5 seasons have been played. Right, we're on my profile. Don't worry about my profile. Doesn't mean a thing. So we're going to start with Pochettino because he finished last after the year experiment. Has he improved on that? But one thing we're going to be looking at is A, are they still in the job? And B, who's the most successful? Has anyone managed to win us our title back? Let's find out. Well, here we are with Manchester United, and Pochettino is still the manager, which means he's done something right. Now you can probably see by that graph and work out how well he's done in the league. We'll have a look at all that in a minute. It's just good to see he's still in the job. So he's got to have been successful in some way. Checking on his attributes, and they're still brilliant. Personally, I am a Man United fan. I'd take him. I know a lot of Spurs fans. I work with one, and there's a guy in the community called Football Manager Zone. Great lad. Got a great channel. You should be able to find a link to his channel on my main page. He's a Spurs fan. Got a series with Spurs. I think he's flapping a little bit. But my mate at work really is flapping, which means he's scared. He thinks they're going to lose him. Personally, I think he's a good manager. Don't think he's won anything with Tottenham. But I'd take a shot on him. At the minute, though, I'm thinking, let's just keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Anyway, his attributes are great. Let's run through the Premier League first. It's probably the most important. And this is the first season, so you'll know. This is how it ended in part 1, with him finishing 4th. So we got in the Champions League, 5 points clear of Chelsea, with Arsenal, City and Liverpool winning the league. Probably going to happen that in real life, innit? Liverpool. I can see it happening. But how's he done throughout the years? So his second season in charge, he came 3rd. That's an improvement. Spurs in 4th. Arsenal winning the league. Liverpool in 5th. His 3rd season, he came 2nd. He's rising. 4, 3, 2. I don't think it's going to be 1, but it might be. But he only missed out 2 points because he drew 1 game more than City. That was it. A better goal difference as well. Next season went down to third. Man City won the league again with 100 points. Wow. And then his last season, fourth. So he stayed in the top four, managed a second position, nearly won the title, had Champions League football every year through his league position. I'd like to have seen him win the freaking title, but has he won anything? Well, we'll start with the next biggest tournament, and that is, of course, the Champions League. And we're looking on the history here, and if you look right there, City are the current holders, but last year he managed to get to the final and got beat of his previous employer. Imagine how hard that would be to take. Spurs have beaten Manchester United at the Nou Camp, where we famously won one of our Champions League titles, our second one. That's gutting. So we haven't won either of the big ones. We go on to the history of the FA Cup. He hasn't done well there either, has he? Now, he won that FA Cup. This one here is the one he won. And then the next 4 seasons, he got to the final once, which was this one just gone, where he got beat off Man City. Pochettino, he's not won a thing. How is he still in his job? Well, maybe this has kept him in his job. He won the League Cup 3 years ago. 2 years ago, got to the final and got beat off Tottenham again. Wow. Spurs fans would be loving that, wouldn't they? So, yeah. Out of the big 4 trophies, the League Cup, the FA Cup, the Premier League and the Champions League, he's won 1 League Cup. Wow. Add that onto his FA Cup he won in Part 1, and it's not the best, is it? Let's have a look at the kind of players he brought in. You've seen Part 1, I'm sure you have, so you'll know what he spent in his first season. This is his second season, and he spent big. But first, he sold Jesse Lingard for a combined total of a mega amount of crazy money. 95 million. Fellaini went for 13 to Russia. Romero's gone. I can see them. Callum Gribben's gone for not a lot of money. But Jesse Lingard, 95 million. I mean, what? But he spent 231, bringing in Hazard, Thiago, Luis, De Ligt. Some class. Third season, and the spending just kept on going. He's got some money here, hasn't he? 187 million. He spent 143 on Dybala. So the players he's already got, with the likes of Dybala and Hazard, and he's not winning the freaking league. And he's still in his job. Not 100% sure I get that. Big players out, Rojo. Season 4, and he kept on spending. I think he spent nearly £1 billion. Another 248 million he spent. Yeah, he bought that guy from Leipzig. I can't say that name. If you know me, you know I can't say names. But I'm sure you can see it for yourself. Coleman, the Barbarian, for 88. I mean, you can't say he's not remodelled his squad. Anthony Martial went to Real Madrid, so that's for a big fee. He brought in 200 million, so to be fair, he kind of made some money back this year. Inaki Williams to Monaco for 54. Big player to his old club there. Axel for 26 million. So, because Smalling finally left as well. Danny Rose left. That was one of his first signings. He should have won the league. He should be winning the league, surely. And then this was going into his 5th season. He spent 156 and he brought in for the first time more. He brought in 168. De Ligt is gone quite quickly for 100 million. He's gone to Real Madrid. Fair enough. So a few of the players that he's brought in himself. Alexis Sanchez has left as well. Gone to Russia. But he spent big again. Brought in some good names, some good players. In real life though, 5 years in, the money he's spent with the lack of trophies, he won't be in that job. What's quite funny is he's never won Manager of the Year, but Jose Mourinho's just won Manager of the Year by being manager of Liverpool. You've got to love Football Manager. You've just got to love Football Manager. It's crazy as shit. So next on the list is, of course, Zidane. A guy I quite like the idea of, just because he was a great player. I used to love watching him when he played for Juve and Real Madrid when I was growing up. I just remember him bringing the ball down once. I think it was in the World Cup. And the ball just stuck to his foot like a freaking magnet. You just got your jaw open. I wish he'd... Nowadays, he probably would have come to the Premier League. Probably. Might have been a good chance of it because of the money. But yeah, he's still in charge 5 years in. But, you know, they've kept Pochettino in a job and he's done nothing. Has Zidane done any better? Now, on paper, stat-wise, he's not bad, is he? I think he's probably the best when it comes to attributes. He won 3 back-to-back Champions League with Real Madrid in real life. Came to United on this experiment in Part 1 and won the Champions League, although his Premier League showing was a bit crap. Let's see if he's done any better. So just to recap, Part 1, he obviously finished 6th, which was crap, but he redeemed himself because he won the Champions League. Next season he came 2nd, Liverpool winning the league. great. The year after, Liverpool win the league again, and he finishes 4th. So at least he's in the Champions League. The following season, Liverpool win the league again, and he's 5th. And then last year, Liverpool win the league again. Liverpool are awesome. I wonder if they got Jose Mourinho as the manager again. That'd be funny. But yeah, they've come second. Cannot win the Premier League. No, not this time. They've got Allegri. So there you go, Liverpool. You want to dominate English football? That's the man you need. Well, he may not have won the Premier League, but he's won another Champions League by beating Real Madrid in the final. And you see that one there. That was his first season, part 1. He won the Champions League, and he's been back to the final 2 years ago, beating Real Madrid, who then came back this year and beat City. On to the FA Cup though, and he's not won that. He did get to the final and been beaten by Liverpool. Liverpool, who have obviously done the freaking double this year. And with the League Cup as well, he got to the final and got beat off Liverpool 4 years ago. For God's sake. And that's it. So out of the big 4 trophies, he's won a Champions League. So altogether in both part 1 and 2, he's won 2 Champions Leagues. Which ain't bad. I'll take that. On to his transfers, and into his second year, he spent close to 200 million. I think we knew 2 of these, Savic, is it, and Hazard. We saw that in part 1. But we brought in a lad from Celtic, Fernandez from Moscow. And he spent quite a lot. Got rid of Valencia, fair enough. And that was it. Third season, he spent well over 200 million. Brought in Zuma from Chelsea, Under from Roma. I mean, some decent players. They're not like superstars, but he's brought in decent players. Leaving his... I didn't even know he was there. He must have signed him in his first year. Got a winter. John Joe Shelby, I remember him signing him in his first year. He's gone to West Brom. Andres Piet. Oh, I want to see him do well for United. He's left, gone to Villa. Rojo's left as well. Year 4, he spent big again. They love spending Man United's money, these managers. Dembele from Barca for 94 million. Good player. Tar from Bayer Leverkusen. Some other decent players who's left there. Jesse Lingard's left again. This time for a lot less money. Probably a more reasonable amount. 32 million total to Chelsea. Eric Bailey's gone. Matic has gone as well to Wolves. Be older there. So yeah, 1 more year left. Final season, in his final window, he spent a lot of money again on players. I've heard of Nathan Ake, Real Madrid. But I've heard of Bruno. I'm not that clued up with this year. I need to. I've been doing other things like being a dad. But Alexis Sanchez gone to Everton for 29 million. Fair enough. Fred left as well. Don't really rate Fred. So yeah, he's spent a lot. Done some decent business. Still can't win the freaking Premier League. He also can't win Manager of the Year. That's been won the last 4 years by Emery, who is at Liverpool. So he's the guy who did well. So he must have left, because when we checked Liverpool, they had Allegri as the manager, didn't they? And he's jumped ship to Man City, as if these kind of things were. And do you know what, Football Manager? I picked you up at the start of this episode saying it's a great platform for experiments because of its realism. And then you do things like this. Jose Mourinho at Liverpool. What the? Well, then on to the final manager. It is, of course, the legend Ryan Giggs, who won part 1. I think he did the best all round, as he brought us our title back. Let's hope so. Looking at his attributes, they're not the best. Out of all 3 managers, they're probably the weakest. I think they're slightly better than they used to be 5 years ago. At 49, he's got good 20 years left in him as a manager. In real life, I think he needs to prove himself. But does this show you that even though a manager's got good attributes, it's a lot of other things come into play, especially with this game. You know, Ryan's a United legend. He knows the club. He probably speaks better English. He knows the way of the club. Do you know what I mean? I just think, does that come into play as a manager? Because on paper, he's the worst. And here we go. In part 1, he did finish second. He did pretty well. He won the FA Cup and the League Cup as well. And he only finished second behind Liverpool with 2 points. So he was by far the best in the Premier League. His second season, he won it. Thank frig. Someone finally got us our trophy back. And City was second. Yeah, by 9 points. That is class, Ryan. That's brilliant. His next season, City got it back and we finished second. But then we got it back. I love this. Swapping it. That's quality. United, he won another one. That's awesome. And then he won it again. I think that's it, innit? Ryan's won this again. Ryan Giggs, Give him the job. How good is that? And it gets even better because he's just won the Champions League, beating Barcelona in Amsterdam. That's ace. He even got to the final a few years ago, 4 years ago. Got beat by Juve in the final, which is sad. City have lost the final, which is good. But yeah, 3 Premier Leagues, a Champions League. Well impressed. Now we know he won the FA Cup in Part 1. He won it again, and then he's won it again. He's so good, isn't he? It's like leaps and bounds in front of Zidane and Pochettino. And we'll finish off with the League Cup. He of course won it in Part 1. He won it again a couple of years later, beating Arsenal in the final. And he's just lost the final this year to Liverpool, which is a bit sad. But yeah, Ryan Giggs. Sir Ryan Giggs. Wow. He's easily the winner. Easily. Now, what kind of players did he bring in? You've seen his first window. This is his second window. And he brought Icardi in for 99 million. A great player. Thiago. Pedro from Chelsea. Bit about that. Martinez left. So, he spent big on some good players. Season 3, he spent 150 million. Bringing in Lucas, Kurt Zouma. And that dude from Paris Saint-Germain for 149 million. Out the door, Matic. So that's fair enough. Pedro's gone. I said that, I don't know why he brought him in. Smalling's gone, Rojo's gone, Romero's gone. The usual boys have gone. Season 4, he spent 120 million. I think he's spending a bit less, doing more. Brought a big player in from Paris Saint-Germain, Seville. The guy I've never heard of from Young Boys. Luka Modric on a free. Was that a genius signing? Because he'd be getting on a bit. But, you know, decent player, isn't he? Just Ballon d'Or winner in real life right now. Joel Pereira went to Wolves for 5 now. And then in his last window, he brought in Julian Brandt from FC Bayern for 92 million. Sisto. I had him on my Huddersfield series 2 years ago. Great player. So yeah, he spent 127 million. Out the door was Arana to Real Madrid. Fred's left, good. Dean Henderson's left, finally. Some dude, Paul O'Connor, went to Huddersfield Town. Another team I did a series with a couple of years ago. So yeah, Ryan Giggs, I think he's done well in the transfer market. Definitely spent his money wisely because it's freaking translated onto the pitch. And to cap it all off, he's won himself a couple of Manager of the Year awards. 2 in fact. So well done to Ryan Giggs. You are easily the winner of my Manchester United manager experiment. Well, there we go. That is the end of part 2 and the end of this 2-part mini-series where we look at some potential managers for Manchester United. It's just a bit of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it enough to hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, hopefully you enjoyed it enough to hit that subscribe button and go and check out my videos. Nearly messed that up then. Go and check out my series with Denton Villa. I really would appreciate that as well. I love making it. Hopefully you'll enjoy it too. And I just think that's really interesting that the guy with the worst attributes was by far the best. So maybe it makes you think really, instead of getting these big names in like we've done with Van Gaal, Mourinho, potentially, you know, Zidane or Pochettino, we should really think about maybe a Ryan Giggs or an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think them kind of players who've at the club for such a long time, who know how it should be run because they were under Ferguson their entire careers pretty much. I think that adds something. I think it does. Respect, knowledge. I think we should really think about it, but probably knowing United, we're going to go for some big name Charlie. Who balls it all up. We'll have to wait and see. Good luck to us because we need some. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've been Bood, you've been great, and I'll see you next time.